Good morning. It's been a while again. Welcome to rainy Middlewich. Saturday, and we've been busy. Got a lot to share. As you can see, I've managed to get a few extra casks, which we bought second hand, legit like. So we're going to get them cleaned up and ready to go. I've got quite a lot of empties because we need to do quite a lot of brewing, as you will see in the upcoming episodes. Tap room, we've been closed apart from the last week of January, which was great. We really needed a cash injection into the bank, and it's pretty stressy right now in terms of the finances. Nothing brewery ending by any means, but certainly the bank balance is about as low as it gets. And it was expected. Dry January, people getting fit and healthy, not much trade sales to pubs. No cans to sell because we shifted all of those. Sorry if you've been on the website again. I don't know how to resolve that, guys. Honestly, it's been a nightmare trying to keep up with demand. Every time I make cans, they're gone. So we've started to put some plans in place to make that to make cans a bit more available, including this tank, R2D2, as one commenter posted on the comments in the last video. The Eagle has landed, so fully insulated, as you saw in the last video. I'm currently full, kind of to the brim, of ginger beard, which we need to have plenty of cans of coming up for a special occasion, essentially. So that's now carbed, I think. It's been sitting at about 1 bar or 0.1 megapascals, just under 20 psi. At 4.2, so nice and fizzy. We do lose a bit of carbonation when we're canning, so I tend to go a bit OTT with that. If you've not seen this setup before, I've basically just transposed it from the little tank that we used. So we've got a gas bottle with a regulator, so the gas is going through the reg into the traffic cone, into the carb stone. You can see we've definitely still got some gas going in, so it is still carbonating, I guess. We've got some gas going in into this T-piece, and then the beer's not moving. It would carb quicker if we could circulate. We can't, so we're just bubbling the gas up through the tank and waiting for the head pressure to stabilise when we hit that equilibrium. So we're looking at kind of high 2 point somethings volumes of CO2, maybe close to 3 volumes of CO2, which is way too much, but as I said, we do lose a little bit in the canning process. So assuming that's nearly ready, we've got to put it into some kegs. So, oh, this is Laura, by the way. Say hello, Laura.
Hi.
Laura's helping me out. She's a university student studying food science and technology, and needed a placement. She lives in Middlewich, and the family are associated with the King's Lock, let's say. They spend a lot of money in that. I'm only kidding. My brother works there. So we're busy just getting the kegs ready to be filled. For canning purposes, and I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it. I'm reusing some of the poly kegs just purely for temporary storage. They've only been used once, so I'm happy to use them just to fill with beverage purely so that we can get them onto the canning machine in small doses, because I'm going to need this tank back. As that tank is currently full of Get Lucky, which has become our most popular can, unsurprisingly, at 5.8%. You alkies. So that's been in the tank 5 days now, so we'll cold crash that in a few days, get it into that tank, assuming that's carbed and in the kegs and cleaned. We'll fill that, and then I'm going to need more kegs because I've only got 30. And this tank will do 27. So every time I want to do a batch, I'm never gonna have 30 empty units. And I bloody hate these because throwing them away in landfill and plastics and all that horrible stuff. These new kegs, no, I've done it again, sorry. These new casks here, new to me anyway, I bought off a friend who acquired them from AB Brewing, I think he got them from. So they're all legit. They're from a brewery that's now defunct. So we'll get them re-striped and nice and clean inside. Don't think they've been used for about 10 years, and we got them for a song. So thank you, DB, much appreciated. Right, let's do a bit, and I'll come back to you as we progress.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed out.
Right, we are just going to get a little sample. The correct way to do this is with a CO2 meter, a ZARM or similar, but we ain't got one because we're poor. So we'll knock the gas off down here to start with, and just put a little bit through this. Sorry, this is kind of upside down. I realise again because it's the first time we've done it. Whoa, we're missing a bit of height with this. So we're just going to dispense a little bit into there. It's quite foamy. Shouldn't be through this. I just need to slow it down a little bit. There you go. So nice and clear. Happy with that. Nice and bright. And we'll have a little taster, and it's carbonated, but it's a bit low, so we're going to need to increase the pressure a little bit and get a bit more gas into it over the next day or so. But I'm happy with the clarity. It tastes good as well. Happy with the clarity. Just needs a bit more fizz so that anything that we lose during canning is obviously not going to detrimentally affect the finished product. And I really need to save up for a proper bit of kit, but it's hideously expensive, so we'll do that later. For now, I'll just use my mouth. Cheers. So a 55.3 is good enough. We can go as low as 50, truthfully, but I tend to run them a bit. I tend to run them a bit longer if we're at 50. Anything less than 50, then I'll stop, get a cup of tea, and crack on again. So what we're doing now, Laura's my camera person for today. What we're doing now is this one is being causticed. If Laura wants to walk back a little bit, you'll get a better view of it at the moment. So you've got the spray ball inside and then a caustic solution in there. It's roughly 600 ml of caustic, well, it's actually Cosgleam. In fact, we've started using a different one. We're using one from a local company now. I'll tell you about them in a second when I remember the name. New Lines. Worked out a little bit cheaper than Niche, where we were buying it from before. It's the same stuff. So it's caustic with some sort of surfactants and things in there just to get all the crud out. So there's a solution in there. It's about 25 litres of water and about 600 mils of the caustic, and that circulates through, out of there, through this pipe, into the pump, out of the pump, up there, into there, through the spray ball, and we give that 4 good minutes and then take it off, give it a rinse on the next tank here, which is just basically fed with a freshwater hose under mains pressure, no pump required, and a smaller spray ball in there, which gives us a good jet inside. And we rinse that. Well, actually, we leave them on the same amount of time, 4 minutes, at which point the pH should be back to neutral. and we've got a nice clean cask, but not sanitised at that point.
Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I'd probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying wake up, you need to make money. Yeah.
She's doing a grand job. You know what's good about having Laura around as well? She finds shit that I've left. Like I'll be like, where's my spanner? Where's my spanner? I can't find my spanner anywhere. She'll go, it's there. She finds everything. She knows, she watches where I put things. It's like having an extra brain. 2 brains. Anyway. These are the washed, sanitised. No, they're not sanitised. These are the caustic and rinsed steel kegs, 30 litres down there. And then we've got the poly kegs there, which I am going to give them a second use. I mean, they're lovely and clean inside now. So they're in the dismantled state. Obviously, spears removed because they need a bit of separate attention. The collars which sit on top are here stacked up. So actually, you can, if you want to recycle them, you can separate the plastics and do it, or you can wait for Polykeg. You know, there is apparently, and with Keykeg too, you know, a recycling network. You can get them picked up, but it seems like you need pallets and pallets of them before you can get any, you know, anyone to come pick them. You see them outside pubs, and they just sit there for months and months and months. Nobody wants them. Anyway, these were ours. We've used them once, as you can see. Still got Moss and Dragon stickers on, and we'll give them one more chance at life. And then we will dismantle them ourselves. The plastic bottom bit knocks off, so you're left with 2 types of plastic. I don't know what plastics they are. I think these are polyester, and the bottom's probably a nylon or something. Glass-filled nylon, is it? That's what it says on it. Have you got any symbols? Don't know what I'm looking for. You'd think there'd be a symbol on it somewhere. Perhaps it's on the sticker. Let's have a look. Is it? I was expecting to see some recycling symbols of some sort. Do not depressurize. It'll take your eye out. No, can't see anything on them. Thought I'd have a little symbol showing me the type of plastic. Anyway, yeah, we can separate the black plastic from the silver plastic and the spears and dispose them ourselves, or hand them off to people that might want them. I've had a couple of home brewers that have taken them, use them as 30-litre fermenters. The spear on the top, you know, you can dismantle it without that ring spanner tool from Polykeg. You can dismantle them without that if you can get a good enough grip on the valve. And they come out on quite a long thread, so they don't blast out and hit you in the face. They sort of start to release the gas as soon as you've cracked it open, really. So by the time you get to the end of the thread, it's done. So they're a bit safer than the steel ones to take apart. Yeah, I mean, if there are any home brewers around here, if you want one, no problem, let me know. You can clean them instead of us then. We're at the end of Saturday, 5:30. I'm ready to go home now. I'm knackered. Turned everything off. Casks, kegs, not casks, definitely kegs, caustic, and kind of ready to go. We give them a quick spritz with the sanitizer before we do anything further. The carb level, and I've said it twice now, but the carb level on this wasn't good enough, so we're just trying to get that up now. We are at 20 psi on the spunned, 25 psi. Aren't I old school working in psi? 25 on the spunning valve. Yeah, guess you just sat on a keg and nearly broke his neck. 25 on the spunning valve, and the wetting. I'll tell you about wetting pressure another time. Anyway, 3 psi. And I need to wash that spear again now because I just knocked off the top of the keg with my arse. Meanwhile, in here, we did some canning. I was just going to set up to film it, and then we'd done the first keg. There's a few that have been packed to go out now, but we've got a little bit of cross stout now, probably 30-ish cans. I'll get those on the website later. The problem that we had was, I think I've done it again. Like, let's get the light on. Like Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. When I'm gassing these, force carbonating them, this is how we do it, right? So, the gas goes into what normally... Oh, I'm pressing the buttons on my phone now, Jesus. All right, hang on. Menu. Okay. So this is how we normally do these. The gas comes in through what normally is the product out tube. Normally we're gassing in there, and we've just got a cap on that now. So we're pushing gas in through the dip tube that goes all the way down. You can do it through this as well. I just found it's usually a little bit quicker going through the dip tube. So, and they've been sat there for 2 weeks really, in this room, which is about 8 degrees. So we know exactly what pressure to set. We've come to connect them up to the canning machine, and they're flat. And I think I've changed the couplers now. I think I used the couplers that have got the anti kind of backflow widget in the middle of them. So we're pushing gas in and it's not going into the beer. As evidenced by when we put these on and pushed the handle down, we got a massive kind of blub 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 noise as the gas was going into them that I don't recall hearing last time. I've done that before. You think I'd have learned by my mistake. So I've got the 3 that we were hoping to get into can today on gas now, and fingers crossed they'll be ready to can in the coming days. I might try and come down in the week one evening and do it, possibly, although I've got a bit of travel coming up. We're set for next week's tap room opening. We're open next week and the weekend after. By next week, depending when you're watching this, I'll put the dates on the screen, but it is the 20... Do you know the dates next weekend? Laura? No, I know. Anyway, I'll work the dates out, I'll put them on the screen, but we're open the next 2 weekends. So, we've got 1 Moston Dragon, 1 Murgy Straight, 1 Get Locky cask, don't see that very often, 1 Murgy Straight cask, and I'm giving the Gingerbeard a rest. I've got 1 cask left, and the rest of it is going to be this next batch that we're gassing up at the moment. It's going to be all in keg and can, so I'm going to save that for a rainy day, I think, that one. We've got reasonable stocks still at the mo in the corner here. Moston Dragon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of Get Locky cask. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Murgy Straight. And then we've got, these are cross stout. We've got loads of stout because it's been selling quite well at the moment. So yeah, we definitely need to get a Moston Dragon brew on soon. Right, back in a minute. Sunday morning, back again. Brief visit this time, just checking on a couple of things. Tank seems to be doing its thing now. We are approaching 20. That's all right. The gas is still going in, and it ain't coming out. As we can see from the gauges, we've no leaks, so it's going into the beer. Thank goodness. I had such a problem with this 2 of these I went through. They're 6 kilos, they're more than 6 kilos in weight, but the gas inside them is 6 kilos approx. By my calculations, should take me 4.5 kilos probably to gas that up. And I ripped through 2, I couldn't work it out at all. I was getting some head pressure, but as soon as the gas was off, it was dissipating back down to sort of atmospheric pressure, and I had the lid off. I'd checked all the seals, literally every little joint and coupler and fitting was removed, seals checked or replaced, put back together again. The same down here, and the carbonation rig, took it to pieces, put it back together again, couldn't work it out. I was like, where the hell is this gas going? And then I just happened to be stood here, and it was almost an imperceptible little hissing noise. The closer I got, I could sort of hear it, and I wasn't sure if it was my ears playing tricks with me. But when I twiddled with these screws, they were loose. And this sight glass has a rubber seal, or 2 rubber seals, I believe, underneath it. So for now, I've just tightened it back down, and it's stopped the leak instantly. So I'm going to order some new seals for these, I think, just replace them. And a new lid seal as well. They're horrendously expensive. 1960s technology, I guess. Trying to buy them now, but anyway, I'm going to replace the seals at the next opportunity. But it's working now, it's holding its pressure. But yeah, that cost me about 50 quid in gas. I'm popping down at lunchtime tomorrow because Pennine Gas in Sandbach, who supply us with the CO2 cylinders, are coming down with a giant torpedo, which instead of having 6 kilos of gas in, has got 50 in. So we can replace the cylinders a little less often. And it also gives us the option to run like a ring main type circuit with gas to other parts of the brew where we might need it from the one bottle. So I don't know where we're going to put it yet, probably behind that tank next to the roller, I'm not sure. But they're going to come tomorrow and drop that off for us. And I need to speak to them about propane as well. We've been trying to keep the tap room reasonably warm. And just to take the chill off, we've been using one of these space heaters. This is a new one. It's far more efficient than the one that we borrowed from Mike next door. It's a lot newer, but it really made the difference. A session, a weekend, let's say, is about 1/3 of one of these. And then 90 quid to fill. Mike gets his from Harris. That's his cylinder that I borrowed. It's nearly empty now, but I think Pennine do those as well. So I'll call them in the morning and see if they can drop me one of those off, I think. Still haven't put in the underfloor heating tape, which obviously is not going to be for underfloor. It's going to be wound around tank 2, which doesn't have it at the moment. Although to be fair, we're getting to the point where the weather's not quite so cold that we need it. But through the winter, brewing in tank 1 has really helped us because we can maintain that temperature for longer to keep the yeast reasonably happy for long enough. That's just coasting along at 18 at the moment. Tap room is open this weekend, as I said a few moments ago on the video. As you can see, it's a complete tip in here at the moment, and we'll get this cleared out and make it look all presentable for the customers. I shall have to do that one night in the week, Monday or Tuesday. I'm away Wednesday, Thursday. Just done a little stock take of the wines and other bits that we need, so we'll get those replenished in the week. Sarah can take care of that for me, hopefully. Right, I think that's just about it. We're sort of prepped in terms of beers ready for the taproom openings next couple of weeks, and God, do we need them. The bank account is bouncing on the bottom right now. We did great on the run up to Christmas. I've probably mentioned this in a previous video anyway. We knew that this period would be quiet because it was last year. We don't have the ability to open the taproom every weekend, and trade sales dip. We got wiped out of cans, so there was no sales there. So we relied on really one taproom opening in January and a little bit of trade sales to a couple of the regulars that really helped us with some orders. But you know, the bills just keep arriving. You know, whether it's tax bills, rent, electricity, all kinds, and they've got to be paid. So it's really eating into that reserve that we had. But spring's coming. Whenever we open the tap room, we get fantastic attendance. We can predict pretty accurately now what we're going to make from each tap room opening. So with 2 a month, we're covered. And then obviously any trade sales, cans, merchandise on top just sort of gives us that buffer that we need. So yeah, can't wait for spring. It's freezing in here as well. You know, the cost of keeping this place warm when we're in it is hideous. Still not insulated. Some things we should probably speak to Brian and the landlords about at some point, but we'll wait for that opportunity. In the meantime, have a great week. I look forward to seeing you soon. Get yourselves down to the tap room, come and say hello. Cheers.